That's dope. That's why we pay you the big bucks. No, but this episode is brought to you by
Squarespace.
Dude, no, that honest to God, that is the barometer for we made it. Like, period. If we get a Squarespace endorsement, like that is the, like, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but that is the official sign to say, oh, we can quit our jobs now. Like, we are making money. That's it. I'm serious.
I know you are, and that's the joke, like, to open up, like, because
if we get a Squarespace ad or Raid Shadow Legends, we made it. We're here.
What about MeUndies?
I would love MeUndies. I use MeUndies all the time.
What's the razor kit?
I'm wearing MeUndies as we speak. And
please sponsor us.
Dollar Shave Club.
There we go, Dollar Shave Club.
I own Dollar Shave Club as we speak. I own all these products. Like, advertising works on me. I'm not gonna lie. But
it works on everyone, believe it or not.
Welcome back to the second episode of this thing. Still don't have a name for it. Still in a hot ass room, but a different hot ass room because it's my new apartment. I moved. I know, right?
It's hard. I pay so much money in rent and paper towels. That's honestly where all my money goes. And it's very disconcerting. I don't like it.
Welcome to adulting. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. But why are we here? We're here to talk about the thing that anybody is talking about at this particular time and place, from when we record this and probably even when we post it. And that is Star Wars. It's going to be like a big Star Wars thing. We're joined. I'm your host, me, Big Black Noir. This is my co-host, McGee, and we're joined by Emperor Snoke. Yeah, everybody.
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Former Supreme Leader Snoke.
Long live Supreme Leader.
Spoiler alert.
Leaders.
Spoiler alert. Alright, today's episode is going to be a little different. We said the next episode was going to be about Bright, but then I got lazy and got an apartment, so it's going to happen sooner or later, but whatever. But we're going to be getting into the thing that is the Rise of Skywalker.
Skywalker. You want to try that one more again?
We're going to be getting into the thing that is the Rise of Skywalker.
There we go.
Plus all the other Star Wars movies, because we've watched all of them in the span of a week. I watched them in chronological order. McGee watched them in release order. And, but yeah. So, let's just jump into it.
Please don't edit in.
I'm gonna.
Where do you stand when it comes to Star Wars? Let's start there.
I was wanting you to start out first because you're an actual Star Wars fan. I
can talk for hours on this, so that's why I'm letting you go.
I realize where do I stand when it comes to Star Wars? I realize after watching all these movies, I don't care about Star Wars. I don't like Star Wars. I thought I did. When I think about Star Wars before The Last Jedi, I remembered it as a nostalgia thing that I saw sometimes. I remember the score. I remember the iconography, what kid doesn't like lightsabers? That's amazing. And I remember, like, their space wizards. I remember the pop culture reference. But then, and I faintly remember some of the original trilogy, but that was about it. And then when I saw The Force Awakens, like, I recognized all the old stuff because I heard about it. And so I'm like, okay, this movie's pretty okay. And stuff like that. And I legitimately like The Last Jedi. And so after doing this whole thing and rewatching all the movies over again, man, I don't like none of them. George Lucas is a hack. I don't care what no one says.
Hot takes.
Fuck that guy. He can't. What? Like, I'm not saying I can direct a better movie, and I'm glad what he did for the culture was great, but man, no, Episode 1, trash. I can see why people like Jar Jar Binks. I can see why kids like Jar Jar Binks. You know, like Misa do this and Misa do that, and Misa says Misa when I say I. Ooh.
Let me stop you right there on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
No one liked Jar Jar Binks.
I think kids really did like Jar Jar Binks. I thought the toys sold really well.
They sold well. Star Wars toys have always sold well.
Oh.
That's how George Lucas paid for his mansions. His mansions. He funded his movie studios in the game studio he founded, LucasArts.
Yeah.
But Jar Jar Binks was mainly there as a way to keep the kids distracted because, as you said, the prequels are kind of trash, and there's not a lot going on. If you're not a hardcore fan looking for like the weird intricacies of like Star Wars lore and canon and what was going on screen, there was nothing for you on screen. Jar Jar Binks kind of was like the googly-eyed distraction for you.
I agree.
Like, even if you ever looking into the post-production stuff for like the prequels, even they knew Jar Jar was kind of wonky.
I definitely agree with that. I just remember there was this one scene right after they had rescued Padme and all that, and there's this where she's told to like clean off R2-D2 for a second, and then Jar Jar comes in and goes like, I was over here, and then this thing happened, and then next thing you know, boom, and Misa over here and stuff. And it was like that for just 2 minutes about him explaining how he got here despite us looking at that already. And I'm like, what is this here for? Why? I hate this.
It's for the dumb kids watching the Star Wars movie.
And episode 2 was dumb too, but less dumb. The political intrigue of the prequels is kind of good. I mean, it shows you regular like how a dictatorship should happen, or at least happen back in the Roman and Greek days, and then it teaches you how that's a bad thing when they hold on to power too long.
Yeah.
So it's a good history lesson for the kids.
Yeah. It's just if it wasn't so boring.
Yeah.
But jumping off of that, what you're saying he's a hack, I don't know. I feel like that mainly comes from you had to suffer the prequels first before you got to see the ones that are considered, you know, the Holy Trinity, and it's really just two solid. Is one great movie, one okay movie in the movie, in my opinion, and that would be, Empire Strikes Back, great movie. A New Hope, good movie. Return of the Jedi, a movie.
Honestly, I thought Return of the Jedi was the best one. Like I said,
this is going to be a long one if we get into this.
It can't be a long one. This room is hot.
I
like it. I'm starting to feel it, and I'm in a hot environment all day. This
Maybe
room
the
is
video
hot.
review should be "This room is hot." If we talk about movies and you call it George Lucas a hack, the comment section is going to be nuts.
Oh man, like we're starting this whole thing off completely wrong.
Well,
like
we're getting into
it's all leading us up to Rise of Skywalker, because there's no way to talk about this movie without talking about the legacy that came before it. And I'm always, even though I'm like a guy who says fuck the lore a lot, I'm the guy who still defends the live action Death Note movie, saying it was a good adaptation. That's the kind of guy I am. That's how I roll in life. I sincerely say fuck the lore. Not at least 75% of the time, you can definitely say fuck the lore, as far as I'm concerned, and still make a really good thing.
With a movie like Rise of Skywalker, you can't.
You can't,
because the entire movie
of people like you and no, not like people like you. Just fans. I'm antagonistic.
Here's the thing, as a fan. And with what you were just saying, but like how the movie, when we get fuck the lore, this movie you can't say fuck the lore.
No,
because the last movie, The Last Jedi, said fuck the lore so goddamn hard in a meaningful way that pissed off and split the fan base.
They threw what's her name?
May-Tran.
Off of Twitter. Yeah,
they drove her off of Twitter.
Yeah,
harassed Rey. Like, it was bad. Because those are the Star Wars fans who ruined the crap. Because, that movie did something different. And it said, it didn't say fuck the lore. It said fuck your lore. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And going into Rise of Skywalker, they basically trying to like, oh wait, roll it back. We gotta appease the fans. It's like, in attempting to do that, they appease nobody. So when you look at this movie, you gotta bring in everything they came before because of the story they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
Like they shoehorned Palpatine opening crawl. I don't know about when we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Episode 1, bad movie. Episode 2, it's a movie. it's a movie.
It's got lightsaber battles.
I did like. So the one thing I like about the prequels is the evolving relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was nice. Like you really got to see them like grow up and like Anakin just starting to be like a smart ass, like, oh, I saved you like 9 times, and Obi-Wan's like, yeah, that other stuff on that other planet doesn't count, but you know, you did good. You did good. And just Yoda being Yoda and Palpatine being low-key creepy all the way through. And
there was a through line of like almost every character's interaction relationship. You can give George Lucas that. The story of the prequels is a story of, you know, the rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker and the relationships along the way that influenced them to become the character Darth Vader and how we ended up with the Galactic Empire.
Yeah.
That's the through line. The original trilogy is a through line of Luke Skywalker discovering his heritage, owning it, and being the one to bring his family back to the light and tear down the infrastructure that rose up from the downfall of his father.
Yeah.
Cool.
By the way, I'll never get over the fact that Natalie Portman looks like Natalie Portman. So in the first movie, even though I know the character's supposed to be 14, Natalie Portman still looks 18, and she's just macking on Anakin, who's 9. I can't get over that. I think about that every time.
That's weird. Thanks for pointing out. You're gonna ruin the next time I try to watch that movie.
It's grooming.
No, because he got away. So, as a Star Wars fan, because where I'm coming from is somebody who like, I grew up loving the original trilogy. I watched the prequels as a dumb kid. I loved them. Even had a whole argument with my aunt at one point because I swore up and down the prequels was history repeating itself. It wasn't the prequels. History repeating itself. No, it's called the prequels. Yeah, shut up. Dumb 8-year-old me. Because, man, Attack of the Clones was that movie. It would come on at Showtime and I'd watch it every time. And that just led to me being a kid. You know, I read all of the EU novels. I played most of the games, you know.
Wow.
Star Wars was my thing. Because, you know, it spoke to me in a way. I love the duality of the light of the Force and how, like, it's just an inherent thing to the universe and like that influences people and it can be used to manipulate the world around you for great good and for greater evil. I love that because, you know, it's just taking something, a concept from the real world and just making it literal. And I love stories that do that. So with going into Rise of Skywalker and afterwards from watching all the movies trying to see what the through line was, the biggest disappointment from Rise of Skywalker, like how we can discuss the other 2 trilogies, we have to speak of them as trilogies.
Yeah.
When you speak of this series of movies as a trilogy, there is no through line. And I think that's going to be the thing that ultimately is what causing so much of a rift in the fan base because there even with like the prequels, bad. You can still talk about 1.5 movies, 2.5 movies, or all of them bad, whatever. There's a story that's being told. You know, you can tell there was someone trying to say something. The original trilogy, you know, it was ad hoc as all heck. If you look at the production of those movies, and a lot of stuff just kind of came together. It still was a group of brilliant minds trying to tell a singular story and just getting it together as they went.
Wait. What does the word ad hoc mean? I honestly don't know.
Just kind of like kind of thrown together. Like they was doing it with what they had in front of them and how they could get what's around them.
Knowledge. Go on though.
But yeah. So with all that being said, when you get to this trilogy, you would think, you know, all the hype, all the build up, all the years of material they had to cherry pick from, which they did. There's a lot of stuff in this which is from the extended universe that they made non-canon. Yeah. I can see why they did that because they wanted to use the good stuff. Okay. With all that to choose from and all that they could have did, they still managed to come up with something that's so cobbled together that you can tell that even if you ask, what's the story? Is it one about family and learning who you are? Sorta, but most of those themes don't really show up until the 3rd movie. And they're kind of like the structure of it is reshaped in the 2nd, and they're kind of introduced in the 1st, but there's no connection between the 3. And as a fan of all of them, you can just it just feels like there was no real soul to the story they wanted to tell.
Okay. Oh wow. Well, that was a failure of a chair roll. How do you say that you fucked up? There it is. So, were you enjoying that content? Was it good? I bet it was. I enjoyed it too. But you know what? Man, it sure is messed up that I lost the rest of the footage. Yeah, I know, right? Life is a strange and mysterious place. What happened to the footage? I don't know. It went missing. What can I tell you? Like I said, life is a strange and mysterious place. What does all this mean? Well, that the rest of the video is just audio. It's just 30 minutes of pure audio. I completely understand that if you don't really want to sit through that, hey, it was glad having you while we had you. And thank you for coming on by. And if you do stay, damn, you're a real one for that one, and we appreciate it. But with that being said, I'll try to not be such a clusterfuck next time. And yeah, alright, see you guys later. Alright.
So that's where I'm coming from as just a fan, where it's like, where's the heart of this? Where's the twisting of the knife between Luke falling in love with Mara Jade, to eventually have his family with her, her being an assassin for the Emperor. There's heart to that. Mara Jade was the
This is all
EU stuff.
This is the extended.
Yeah. Where is the pain of Leia, feeling her son fall to the dark side and being corrupted by one of Luke's old flames? Where's that like struggle? Where's the Empire?
Doesn't Luke turn to the dark side in the extension?
Yes, he joins the dark side to
Emperor. Doesn't he join Emperor
Palpatine? Because Emperor Palpatine was a clone, and he wanted to understand the dark side to fully control the light. Because what's better, to be someone who can deny evil or one who embraced evil and turned away?
Man, that's so in contrast to how he felt at the end of that movie. That's so stupid.
But it happened years later.
Man, I just really don't like Star Wars. I don't get it. I don't
read Thrawn. You like Legend of Galactic Heroes? Read the Thrawn trilogy. Thrawn is an amazing character.
Duly noted. I'll put that in the queue. Since you said it's like Legend of Galactic Heroes, I'll put that.
It's basically following the space battle-y portions of Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Force is stupid. The Jedi are awful.
Yeah.
And that's where I thought the storyline was going for this trilogy.
Yeah.
The Jedi are bad. Here, and let us show you why. Because for mainline fans, that's not really a concept that's been explored. The Jedi have always been like,
the good guys,
paragons,
police, Paragon police, and
enforcers. They handle trade negotiations apparently too.
Right? That is so trippy. That's how episode 1 starts out. That's how this whole thing starts out. A trade dispute. And this is how it began. The ultimate battle of light and dark. This war to end all wars. That was a trade dispute. You know how wars start. Franz Ferdinand just being shot in the head. That's not right.
Man, who knew just assassinating one guy can start off a war?
What? Imagine.
Imagine that. Who would have thunk it?
Episode 3 wasn't that bad. Revenge of the Sith was okay. Like it had a much more visual flair to it. Everybody remembers the final fight scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin. That was pretty good.
Entirely too long.
It does go on pretty long.
There's literally a scene in that fight where they're just twirling their lightsabers around each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was the best meme. It was like, come on, Anakin, you can't do anything. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power. And his power. So that trips me out. Like the whole movie is silly. Everything from the Emperor Palpatine trying to shock Mace Windu and just continuing to do lightning while he's burning his own face. And he's like, it has to work. It just has to. Oh, it's not working. Why? Oh my god, now I'm all decrepit.
If only Mace Windu had 2 lightsabers.
If only Mace Windu had 2 lightsabers.
But this leads us into, so like we understand where we're coming from, going into the rise of Skywalker. The feelings going in were mixed because coming off The Last Jedi, I was one of the people in the camp of The Last Jedi was taking Star Wars in a new and interesting direction.
I was also in that camp
because it was basically from off jump. It was the Jedi are stupid. That's what that represented when Luke tossed the lightsaber because the lightsaber didn't matter.
Wait. We have to address something here. See. Here on this show, we address the criticisms that are given to us in our previous work. The fans want a plot breakdown, McGee. But we have to give them that plot breakdown first before we get into stuff. Because apparently, fuckers just can't follow shit.
We're getting into it. I was going to try to lead it into the plot breakdown from, Last Jedi, because we were talking about Star Wars as a whole. And where it came from into the movie that came out before, which colored our feelings going into The Last Jedi. The Rise of Skywalker. Oh, right, okay. Because we have a different take on this. This is our first Star Wars talk.
Yeah, this is our final Star Wars talk. Fuck you talking about.
You said, all right, there's gonna be more movies. Kenobi coming out.
Oh yeah, wait.
And The Mandalorian, which you need to watch.
I watched a couple episodes. I'm not done talking about all the stuff that leads up into the Last Skywalker because because just to get past the original trilogy super fast. I really like Return of the Jedi because Luke kind of seemed evil in the beginning of that movie where he's like, Jabba, I'm going to kill you if you don't let my friends go. And Jabba's like, wah, 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 rah.
Pucha chica no solo.
so Luke is like, all right. And just starts murking everybody. Like this man force chokes two guards at the beginning of the movie. I'm like, whoa.
No, he put them to sleep. He just walked in and did that. He put them to sleep. He didn't choke them.
He definitely went like, he definitely put out the hand motion. But I thought Return of the Jedi was the best one out of all the trilogy. So that was me. I really, 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 really like Solo, A Star Wars Story, and I really like Rogue One. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about when they say they don't like Solo or Rogue One.
Solo's the reason I believe that Star Wars fans, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, first of all. And second of all, Star Wars fans don't know what they fucking want. Drop the F-bomb, my bad, we're going to get demonetized. But yeah, Star Wars.
No, I said the F word like 20 seconds ago. Right. We were already demonetized.
Alright, fine, whatever.
I'm pretty sure Star Wars is actually demonetized. Period.
That stinks. But, tell it to Disney. But, with Solo is such a it captures what Star Wars originally was, which is honestly just a weird spaghetti space western. Yeah, that's all it was. The space wizard stuff is a very minor portion of the original trilogy.
Yeah, it's mostly space battle, like airships.
Yeah, space battles, traveling planet to planet, dumb kooky missions on the space station. Yeah, that's it. Luke has one conversation with Obi-Wan, plays his lightsaber on the Millennium Falcon, and Obi-Wan gets murdered. There isn't much of that, but that's what people, grasp because that was the most interesting aspect of it. Space wizards. That sounds amazing.
He undermines that dude at the meeting where he's like, we gotta shoot this small exhaust port that's only 2 meters wide. It's impossible. A computer can't even do that. But it's not impossible. I used to shoot want rats like that in my own TI-16.
I love that Family Guy bit when he was about to say, hey man, you can't just show me up there. What's your problem?
Have a nice rebellion, jerk.
But so Solo, and it even has the space wizard stuff towards the end. Spoilers for Solo. Anyone cares.
Yeah, that was 2016, right?
No, it's just because no one cares about Solo. It was on Netflix a week after it was out of theaters. Oh, yeah, right. Legit. That's where I saw it. I remember talking about it coming out and watching it on Netflix. But that's why, Star Wars fans will know what they really want. Because that movie was Star Wars. Yeah. Rogue One was something new, but it didn't catch me, honestly. But people, some people liked it.
I really liked it.
And the trilogy as a whole, the 6 movies as a whole, just tell a unique story. So when you get into Rise of Skywalker, where it's all right, you have all of this build up, all this hype behind it. coming from Last Jedi, which divided the fan base. The fan base is feeling weird coming from Rogue One and Solo because they don't really trust in the movies anymore.
Yeah.
You know, all this hate towards Kathleen Kennedy, you know, it's just weird. So it's like, Disney had a lot of pressure on them. They had to stick this landing.
Yeah.
And so, what do you do with Star Wars coming from that? You got The Last Jedi, pretty much threw out most of the plot lines you had to work with.
Yeah. In a good way, in my opinion.
In a good way, because it was leading into the whole Great Jedi, A, or B, do something new. Be your own thing. You're no one. You can do whatever. Like the force is within you. Choose how it goes.
Like, I really thought, like before The Last Skywalker, I really thought Rey was going to turn...
The Last Skywalker? That's what it's called.
I hate the name of this movie. I hate how it's just named like this. Before the last movie, I really thought Rey was just gonna be like turn to the dark side. I thought Rey was gonna turn to the dark side, and like a realistic thing of her trying to protect everyone, she was gonna turn to the dark side, like how Anakin did, and then Kylo would turn back to the light side and be Ben Solo again. I love the whole Force connection stuff. I love the romance. I really
plot
like...
breakdown. Going ahead.
The Last Jedi was so good.
Alright, so Last Jedi, so great. So that's what our takes on it. It was great. Setting up a whole lot to be done new with Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, bringing people like you who hate Star Wars, but hey, it's doing something unique compared to what I was expecting.
Yeah.
People like me who love Star Wars and was like, okay, it's bringing something interesting because Star Wars, you know, outside that can get stale.
Yeah.
It's kind of tired and trite a little bit.
It very much is.
And that's just being realistic. So, Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Okay, we're finally getting into it.
The dead speak!
What is the Rise of Skywalker? The dead speaks. Just that fucking wall, that fucking text scroll.
Off jump.
The dead speaks. Emperor Palpatine returns, and everybody's off to get to him in time. And Kylo reaches him first, and they waste no time in just going like off jump, like they say, "Hey, Emperor Palpatine is back." And in the first 5 minutes, Emperor Palpatine, here I am. Ooh boy, I have this thing called the Final Order that I've been building for years. I don't know where these people came from. You remember that conversation in Clerks where they're arguing that when they blew up the Death Star, there was a whole bunch of like innocent casualties because there was like a bunch of like workers who were still working on that shit.
On Death Star 2.
No, on Death Star 2, yeah. There was just a bunch of contractors had to still be working on that, and they blew that fucker up. And all I can think about is with the Final Order. I'm like, how does one get into the Final Order? Like, what?
Before we even become those guys to talk about plot holes, because there's one
right,
thing I
okay,
point out.
yeah, right, you're right.
One thing you bring up, it takes 135 people to man a Star Destroyer. 135,000 people, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, I didn't even know that statistic, and I was like, that's extremely
135,000 people to man a single Star Destroyer.
And there was like,
the sky was full of them.
At least 75 to 100 of them. That's millions of people.
No, remember, it was just like, it was rows upon rows. It just rolls out of the fucking crust of that planet.
Millions and millions of soldiers and people, seemingly unknown to everybody.
Like, how?
Off of some weird Sith Lord planet we never knew about.
Which pisses me off, because there's like 15, like, actual... They could have just went to Korriban. You know, the original Sith home world, you know?
Could have went back to Jakku.
No, it had to be a Sith planet. So there's Korriban and there's,
Oh, wait, Sith planets are real? They didn't just make that up?
No, that's not just a thing they made up. There are, like, actual planets where, like, the Sith, like, hold sacred. There's Korriban, there's another one. The one that got, like, compressed by the Shadow Generator. And I was doing the Jedi Civil War. But that's another thing.
Is that a nice of the Old Republic thing?
Yes.
Oh!
That was KOTOR 2.
Shout out to two best friends. Or no longer friends. Anywho. Let's move on to something more nice.
Woolie's still cool with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey! Silver lining. Woolie's still cool with everybody.
Yep. Everybody else hate each other.
Yeah.
And Pat and Liam.
That's a weird thing.
How about that Matt and Liam?
See, that's the real Star Wars thing.
If Pat and Liam were still
Yeah.
that would be like, what the? What?
Okay. The
Shout
dead
out to the
speaks.
best friends.
Shout out to the best friends. The dead speaks. Emperor Palpatine is alive. He has this thing called the Final Order. Kylo Ren fights him first to become the supreme leader. Ends up fixing up his helmet again. Rey is. So I like that they show Rey being OP as fuck, because what's the main fantasy that Star Wars sells you on in like all the video games before Fallen Order? Like
You're
like,
amazing.
Yeah, that you're amazing. Like, what was the name of the one with Starkiller?
Oh, that's
Unleashed.
Force
Yeah,
Unleashed.
yeah. And when he brought down the Star Trek, I was like, that's so fucking cool. You think about all this amazing shit that the Jedi can do with their Force powers, and Rey just does it. She's just like already doing this and like all the moving all the rocks and stuff like that. And I thought it was so cool the way she used her powers throughout the whole film. That was really cool.
Mm.
But she's already like super good at Jedi and stuff like that, being trained under Leia.
Spoilers, by the way.
If you're watching a long ass review on YouTube about Star Wars, I don't know what the fuck. I hate.
We can leave it there. I hate
spoiler culture. I don't know.
Let's leave it at I hate. Oh man.
Like, how do you watch a review of the Rise of Skywalker and not expect spoilers? But I'm just getting off.
Hey, I watch a lot of a certain other YouTube conglomerate videos, and I watch it right up until the spoiler moment, and then I go watch the movie.
Are you for real?
Yes. Until they say, "All right, spoilers here," beep, and I'll leave.
Wow.
There's several YouTubers who I do that with because I just want to know what they think. Before I go spend money on certain movies.
The moment the Blair's gonna like, spoilers, I'm like, cool. I just don't care about spoilers. I knew all the spoilers coming into Rise of Skywalker before I went to go see it today, which is my first movie of 2020. Hooray, Rise of Skywalker. I knew all the spoilers coming in, and I still kind of enjoyed myself, actually. I didn't think this was like a great movie, but I still enjoyed myself. But honestly, I'm forgetting the part right after Rey, crap, what happens after the first 20 minutes?
Because the first 20 minutes, they just throw a wall of stuff at you.
Poe Dameron is with Finn.
They're on a Millennium Falcon.
They get the message that there's a spy in the First Order, and then
they get chased back.
They get chased back to the base. And then they leave because everybody now... And then Poe Dameron says, somehow Emperor Palpatine has returned.
And then it becomes the race to try to get the dagger?
Yeah. And so it's a race to get the box thing, but they didn't know about the dagger first. They just knew that Luke was trying to figure out where the Sith planet was. And they're following off of Luke's trail, which leads them to that planet, which eventually led them to that ship as where they found the dagger. And Rey has her little conversation with Kylo again because they still have that Force connection. And they're turning it on hot and heavy this time for all those shipping fans, and it's just so fucking good. And Adam Driver is so dark and brooding with his fucking raven black hair. Fuck.
You good there?
Really like Adam Driver. He's my favorite actor of all time.
Right? Anyway, so we have this going down. Rey's having a whole spiritual conflict going on because she's feeling the lure of the dark side. She's starting to sense that hey, I feel this is connected to my past. And I really connected with Rey on a personal level as they were doing this MacGuffin hunt, because it's all this freaking movie is a MacGuffin hunt.
Yeah, it is. And then the MacGuffin doesn't even matter at the end.
It doesn't matter at all. And I got problems with some of the MacGuffins. I have several problems with this movie, but we're not going to get into plot holes. But the reason I give this movie some points and can say that honestly is it's not terrible is because that theme of just Rey going through it and dealing with people not really knowing her.
Yeah. And
her not knowing herself. Like that line she has to Finn, who poor Finn. Him and Poe did not get the character arc they needed. They didn't have an arc. They were just there.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. There were certain things they picked up from the Last Jedi that made sense, and there's stuff like it's not like J.J. Abrams completely like disregarded everything, because the theme of forget the past still works with Rey's whole thing of her being like spoiler.
Wait, look, before we get there, when we get in, let me finish the thought.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
with Rey dealing with her whole thing of people around her not truly knowing who she is,
Mm-hmm.
and like, and even I love they even have the dark side music beat when she tells Finn like, "You don't really know who I know you. Do you really?" And it's just like, yeah, because that can drive you to darkness.
Yeah.
You know, feeling like no one around you truly knew you, and if they did, oh God, what does that mean for me?
You're right.
So Rey dealing with that, you know, it touched me like, okay, I can see where they're kind of going with this, you know, giving her something to be like something for her to struggle with so they can deal with that whole Mary Sue thing. Because let's get it out of the way, she a Mary Sue. That's fine. And if you don't think Goku or Gary Stu, kiss my ass. Ooh, we doing hot takes today.
I don't know about a Mary Sue.
Ooh, Rey? As far as like Jedi go and canon and in the EU, you know, Rey is really powerful and talented. And for her to beat Ben Solo in a lightsaber duel
immediately,
and ain't never held a goddamn lightsaber. That was a lie. Snoke literally yelled at him. She has never held a lightsaber. You are Luke Skywalker's nephew.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So, Mary Sue,
right.
She over here doing force healing.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing that kind of came
That's
out
a thing that just kind of happened.
Yeah.
This movie has a lot of things that just kind of happen. And that's the problem. Whereas like in the original movies or even in the prequels, when things kind of happen, at the very least, it was sort of connected to what was going on and it made sense. Yeah, Qui-Gon's plan was kind of drunken and weird in Phantom Menace, but it got them where they needed to be and where they were going. And if you really look at it from the lens of he was following the will of the Force and just going with the flow of things, makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I can accept that.
What the hell? Even when you get like the Last Jedi, biggest complaint is what the Canto Bite saying, because I was, what the hell was that?
I thought that was a perfect representation of oh, this plan is so crazy it might just work, and it didn't. And I thought that was great. That was amazing how that all went down. And them trying to find the Master Codebreaker, they didn't find it. They found a Codebreaker who indeed helped them.
We're
and then
going off topic. How's this Skywalker? We're gonna have a Last Jedi discussion podcast.
We should. We
Maybe.
should. That should be supplementary material.
It might be. But with the Rise of Skywalker, a lot of like supplementary stuff that's happening, it just kind of feels like, oh, we just gotta go here and go here and go here.
Yeah.
It's like cool, we get to see some cool planets, but it's all just chasing a thing.
Yeah.
And the thing ultimately didn't matter. Getting the little keystone thingy didn't matter because he just took Kylo's ship.
Yeah.
And went. And he had one. Which is cool. They established he had one on his ship at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And the second they cut to his ship, he was like, oh, she's just going to take his. It was a lot of stuff that they tried to like, oh, we're going to fake you out. But then they didn't give you time to sit with it.
Yeah.
He broke the keystone. What are they going to do next? Oh, he's just going to take his ship. Oh no, Chewie's dead. Oh no, here he's fine.
I thought that was super cool.
I thought they was taking a risk.
I thought that was dope. I was like, whoa, that's bold. I was so happy.
It was bold, and I was upset because Chewie deserved the death he got in the EU.
He died in the EU?
Yeah, a planet fell on him.
Ooh.
Fucking planet falls on Chewie.
Oh boy.
While his son watches.
Oh no.
Yeah, poor Chewie.
Jesus Christ.
And that's the biggest rule with this movie. Where you can be like, yeah, it's fine. But if you think about any scene for more than like 5 minutes out of context of the movie and not even doing the whole picking apart plot holes thing, it doesn't give you any time to appreciate when something happens or any of the payoff.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because like there's certain things like right after the scene where they go to that planet and they find the dagger, and I thought that was kind of interesting. The whole C-3PO thing. He can't he manually literally can't translate it. It's forbidden in his code. I thought that was kind of silly, but you know.
Where was C-3PO built?
He was built by Anakin.
Yeah.
He was built on
Tatooine. He was built in the garage.
The fuck?
You see what I mean? Oh, that's an awesome scene. Think about it for more than 5 minutes.
He got his memory wiped at the end of episode 3, and he became more of a resistance thing, though. So
if I wipe your hard drive, will it not allow me to re-download Audacity because Audacity is forbidden in the United States? Or that's the air quotes.
I was just about to say, what?
Air quotes. Let's say Audacity gets forbidden in the United States. I wipe your hard drive. Can I still download Audacity?
I'm gonna cut out the audio for that whole part.
Yeah, that was dumb. Just cut that.
No. I'm literally saying when you say Audacity's banned in the United States, I'm just gonna cut out the whole audio for it. That's good. That's good.
Don't do that.
I'm so doing. But
you're gonna cut that whole part of the point I was trying to make.
This whole thing is just gonna be in it, but it's just silence. It's just silence for 4 minutes. Okay. What were we talking about before this happened?
Just cut the whole Audacity. Hold up. There you go. What
were we talking about?
How stupid the C-3PO scene with the Sith dagger. Because it makes no sense.
Yeah, you can't translate it because it's not in my programming to translate Sith language. I can't do it. I can't do it, bro.
And it's like, you were built in a garage, dog. You should be built for this. Doing this kind of illegal shit.
But I thought it was so cool when it led to Rey. I the whole dynamic between Rey and Ren was super cool. How she just immediately knows it's coming, just like it was for Luke and Vader back in 2 and 3. That was really cool. I like how they're mixing that past into the present kind of dynamic. That works.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Exactly. It's one big Ouroboros circle.
You know who I got that from?
I feel like that's from George Lucas.
That is definitely from George
Lucas. I feel like I saw that in an interview.
George Lucas said that.
Still a hack. I don't know. I don't like that guy.
I don't know, man. Sitting on a couple $1 billion right now. That's I don't want to be a hack right now.
Hacks make millions of money. Millions of money,
right? Okay.
Look, I am so tired, okay? I've watched all these movies in the span of it hasn't even been the span of a week. I've watched all these in a marathon of 2 or 3 days. And I finished Force Awakens and Last Jedi this morning, and then went out to go see The Rise of Skywalker. I'm tired. But, yeah, so Rey, doing the whole thing of, when the shit was going off with Chewie, and she's like, I'm gonna stop it. And then Rey and Poe are like, oh, shit, that's amazing. I love how OP that shit was. That was super good. And then when she got frustrated, she's like, lightning. And it blew that shit up.
It was over.
I thought that was whoa. She killed Chewie? Bro, that's heavy. She actually killed Chewbacca.
And that was cool.
That was so cool. And then they copped out.
2 minutes later. He was on a different ship. How did you not see the other ship fly out at the same time? I know we was focusing on this ship, but these two, bozos in the cut watching, right? No? Okay.
I thought that was so stupid. That was not... I hate it when movies do that. Just let people...
She has the Force, right?
Just let people... You let Han die. You let Luke die. You let Leia... Oh, no. Carrie Fisher died. So
Carrie Fisher died. That wasn't...
That's the same. She was... I think she was supposed to live that whole movie.
Yeah, only reason we got Han this movie was because they needed something. Leia was not there to do it.
Yeah. But
and even that saying, it made me upset in the moment that I thought about it. Oh, wait. Literally one line salvages that. I'm a memory.
Oh, yeah.
But we're doing a plot breakdown. So, they're going planet to planet. They go to the desert planet. It's the desert planet first, right? When they know the ship was following his trail to get the little cipher keystone to go to wherever else.
Yeah, and then they went to whatever. Huh?
They were trying to find the thing to Palpatine.
Yeah, no, they went to get C-3PO's memory so he can say it. So they went to that planet that Poe is from, and where we find out he's a spice smuggler. I don't like how they kept just kind of going in on that.
Yeah.
Like, Poe, how do you know how to do all these shiesty ass things? I'm like, is this really important? Like,
what's your past, Poe?
They're like, you were a spice smuggler? Were you a stormtrooper?
That was a good one.
Like, what are we?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here?
Like, that was a good line. I felt the same way. He was the audience for a second.
So that was cool. I like the banter, whatever, between whatever. I don't know. Remember that character's name? She had a cool gun though.
Are you talking about the lady with the red suit and the
yeah? She looked cool. That was cool.
She was the Boba Fett of the movie. She looks cool. Who is she again?
But she actually does more than Boba Fett did. Man, people really like Boba Fett because he just had a cool helmet in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Boy, that man does not, and he dies like a bitch. And as a kid in the prequels, he was pretty badass. Like, cause you saw him when he was a kid. Yeah, you saw him as a kid when he helped out his dad, and then in the original trilogy, that man died like a bitch. Short of that stock footage, that scream.
Because he was just always in the background looking cool. He shoots at Luke in Empire Strikes Back.
Does he?
Yeah. He's walking with them with Leia and Han and them, escorting them out. That scene makes no sense, but we're not talking about Empire Strikes Back. We can talk about this off camera. But it's the scene with Boba Fett and he shoots at Luke like twice, and Luke like peeks over a corner and nothing happens. But
man, I don't even remember that. Wow.
Exactly. It's not like just nothing it is.
He kept altering the deal.
Pray I did not alter it. Or I may have to leave it kerosene. But so they go to do the thing with C-3PO. That's when like they give us a little bit of what First Order occupation looks like. They're going door to door. They're taking kids, you know. Mm-hmm. And the lady gives a little backstory on things, and magically she has a special key code that gives you access to the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, captain's badge or whatever. C-3PO's memory gets wiped.
What is with this movie and just you land on a planet and you just run into the guy you need to see? And it's never like, even in the original trilogy, either they found somebody by accident because they knew they were there. The prequels, they were looking for someone. They knew they were there. In these movies, you just hit a planet up and bam.
There it is.
That's the person I need.
Plot convenience?
Plot contrivance, more likely.
You just gotta make these things roll, man. You gotta make it roll.
Mm-hmm. So all that's going down.
Mm-hmm. C-3PO gets his memory wiped and he doesn't remember, and it's a sad moment.
It's sad, and it lets for a couple of jokes go on. C-3PO was like the funniest thing in this movie.
Yeah.
Like they use
like he actually wasn't annoying this time. Like I actually enjoyed his company.
Yeah.
Oh my god, C-3PO is in all of these movies.
He is. And R2-D2.
I don't mind R2-D2.
A New Hope opens with C-3PO and R2-D2. They're the only people on the screen for like 20 solid minutes.
Mm-hmm.
After like the whole Darth Vader Leia scene.
Yeah, everybody gets slaughtered.
Yep.
Wow. Just
so,
wow.
Get the other thing. They translate the dagger. They go to...
That's when they go
the
to...
moon of Endor.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I didn't say the one. Remember, Endor has multiple moons.
Yeah, but they went to the one with the destroyed Death Star on to find it.
Question about the dagger. So the dagger is supposed to line up with the wreckage of the Death Star and tell you where to go, which what point that has the little control thingy, right?
Yeah, that's silly.
Who made the dagger?
Yeah, exactly.
Why isn't it ancient Sith?
Don't think about it, because that's some Cinema Sins kind of bullshit.
Like,
where like you're telling me this dagger is supposed to match up to this destroyed Death Star thing, but this dagger is supposed to be old.
It's ancient Sith stuff. The Sith haven't been around in 10,000 years. Or did Palpatine plan to stash the thing that will lead him to his backup plan? And he knew the exact location the wreckage was going to fall to line up the little connector thing on the dagger?
Rise of Skywalker, folks. Rise of Skywalker.
So anyway, they do the dagger thingy and get on the wreckage of the Death Star. You know, Rey's too impatient to wait. That's when we meet the new character, another
that black chick.
Yeah, the black chick. Can't think of her name.
Me neither. She was hot.
Yeah. She was a former stormtrooper like Finn, and that plot line goes nowhere.
Yeah, it was a nice little bonding moment of like, I was T and whatever. I was FN21.
Oh, you're FN21? Oh, like it's like that little bit, and then it goes nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't really go anywhere. I mean, it kind of ties into the ending and why she comes with them to the thing.
But Finn is one of the most interesting characters to be introduced in Star Wars. He's a former stormtrooper.
Yeah, that's actually pretty.
Who was a child soldier. They take them as kids, raise them to be stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Who decided on his first battle, fuck this.
Was that his first battle?
Yeah. His first deployment. At least I think it's not mentioned in the movie. It's mentioned in the novella.
Oh.
But like that thing of how powerful that scene was in Force Awakens. Bloody hand on the stormtrooper's helmet.
Yeah.
Him taking it off and just hyperventilating because it's like, what am I doing with my life?
Whoa.
Culminates in this movie where he's talking to her and he's talking about like, yeah, it was just a feeling. And she's talking about how like we all stood down together because we all just felt that this was wrong in unison. That's power. That's conveying what the Force is. That's how you like explore that understanding of how that mass feeling that binds us all together and flows through us all. That we can feel how wrong a situation is.
Yep.
And it goes nowhere.
No.
Because Ray's too impatient. Man, get over here and get this little thing. No time for character development and scene building and relationships. No, can't do that.
Oh yeah, that does get cut off in the middle.
Because Ray steals the boat. They tell her we can go tomorrow. We couldn't have a scene around the campfire. Luke had a scene with Leia before we went to fight with Darth Vader.
He did.
They had a feast.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. Ray steals the thing. Goes off into the thing.
And Ben Solo shows up.
Oh no, she fights a version of herself that's all Darth.
It's all cool.
Switchblade, double thing.
Lightsaber.
And then Ben Swallow's there, and they have their whole little fuck me eyes thing, kind of what's going on, and then there it gets into the problem what I have with Kylo Ren. I feel like the whole thing about Kylo Ren and him turning back to the light side does not make sense for anything that happened, right?
What do you mean?
So The Force Awakens, you get this basically edgelord who's trying to be Darth Vader so bad, makes his own helmet despite not needing it. He doesn't need this helmet. Mm-hmm. He doesn't need it to breathe. He's just doing this for aesthetic reasons. Mm-hmm. Trying to be an edgelord so bad, but you can see the certain conflicts he has in himself about certain things that are going on, right? And he's like, oh man, I just need to feel them. But then he kills his dad, so that's supposed to be his like new little resolve thing. And then him losing to Rey is supposed to be like him like having more shakes in his foundation. And then which leads into 2 about him disappointing Snoke. And he's like, what's going on here? I give you everything I'm supposed to give you and what you asked for, but you don't accept me. Why is that? I'm supposed to be like the shit. And then him trying to kill his mom, didn't kill his mom, right? Then the stuff with Rey happens and you start to understand that conflict. And then this thing happens at the end of it. And it was awesome, right? And then it completes this arc of what I've seen throughout all the movies where all of the Sith apprentices basically end up trying to kill their master and then trying to take over.
Because treachery is the way of the Sith.
But Kylo does it in this really cool way that fits in with the line of the movie. Like, forget the past. Kill it if you need to. Forget all this. We are going to start over. And you get the sense of desperation of he feels like this is what he needs to do because he's already in this situation and that he just cannot go back because he needs to kill the past. And then in Rise of Skywalker, it just kind of happens out of nowhere because there's like, it's like after everything that happened in The Last Jedi with him facing off against Luke, against Ghost Luke and everything like that, and him not learning his lesson. And I thought that was supposed to be like, oh, he really has like turned completely left. This is it. Dark side Kylo Ren. End of it all. And throughout this whole movie, it seems like this is just dark side Kylo Ren, and he's just trying to tell Rey like, hey, you should still join me though. I still want you to be on my side, but I'm completely on the dark side now. I thought that was really cool. And then
I didn't get that vibe from him being completely on the dark side.
Really? Because like nothing in here was like
he kind of said from off jump, "Oh, I'm just here to betray the Emperor because the Emperor's a threat to my power."
Yeah, he did say that.
Off jump, he was like, I'm supreme leader. The Emperor could dethrone me. This is a problem. Rey, join me. We can take this bastard out. Instead of doing it for like the rules, let's do it to take this guy out because he's the past. He is metaphorically and physically the thing I've been saying we should do. That part, good. It makes sense to me because the Emperor represents that. He is the past incarnate. All 6 movies, the Emperor's fault.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're a smart guy. You're smart.
So that made sense in it, and I love that because in the whole movie, he never was just like, I'm not on board with this. I'm trying to betray him. And that is as Sith as it gets. But the reason Snoke was disappointed in him too because he got beat by Rey, but it was also because he tells him, remember in The Last Jedi? You killed your father, yes, but it eats away at your soul. Mm-hmm. You don't like the fact you did it. And it's causing conflict in you because the light was pulling on him because that was a bad thing I did. Yeah. But it wasn't something that he couldn't reconcile with his mother. And that's why he couldn't kill his mother. Because he knew it was... And that's another thing I can get because your mother is supposed to always be there for you.
I don't know what that feels like.
Me neither. But as someone with that void, I can understand how I can recognize how powerful that pull could be from having the exact opposite. Yeah. So without having that and seeing what it would do to somebody who was like, I have this, I just killed my father. All I have left is my mother. I can't do it. Because honestly, the only person who can absolve me of my sins and who I am is your mother. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because no matter what, technically, in a perfect world, your mother's supposed to be the one person you know who knows who you are and loves you for it. Point blank, period.
And she did, right?
And she did, up until the end.
I wish there was more stuff about Ren and Chewie. Because Chewie got introduced as
that's his godfather.
Yeah, this is your Uncle Chewie. He's always going to protect you. I feel like that's why he didn't kill Kylo at the end of 1 because he had the clear shot.
We know Chewie a crack shot. What did he do? Hit him in the hip. He could have hit him full bore in the chest.
Just that immediate going this is your Uncle Chewie. He's always going to protect you. And Chewie's like...
Yeah, I've seen that where it just moves it slightly over.
Yeah. I don't know what comic. I don't know where I saw that comic. I really want to find it again. It was really wholesome. It was really nice. Mm-hmm. It that broke it down for me.
It was like 5 quick doodles of just like Chewie and little Kylo. Yeah. And it just shows him looking all angry. And just readjust the shot. And it's just like,
it was super good.
More development than the movies gave us.
Yeah.
Because if they captured Chewie, it should have been Kylo on that ship to go talk to Chewie.
Yeah.
We should have got a scene of him and Chewie just having a conversation.
Missed opportunity.
It's straight Wookiee, so all the Imperials looking around confused because you would expect Kylo to speak Wookiee like his dad.
Missed opportunity.
Those are the things they should have been pandering to Star Wars fans and not some of the other stuff they did.
Yeah. Like finding out that Rey is Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter. We finally reached that point in the movie now. After they did all their stuff and
the awesome lightsaber duel.
After Rey and Kyle have an awesome lightsaber duel. It was really cool.
I love the dichotomy between it and the duel on Mustafar and Revenge of the Sith. That was pretty dope. I like how Rey does not hesitate, which goes into her dark side thing of straight up killing folks. Because she was going to kill Kylo at the end of Force Awakens. Yeah, she was going in for it, and if the planet Earth didn't crack,
if the Earth didn't split, it would have been dead on sight. And then in this one, for a moment of hesitation, she's like, "Fuck you," and then gets him, and then brings him back with her Force healing powers, and then Kylo has a revelation, and with the whole, with Han Solo that throws his lightsaber away, which was stupid. You should have kept it.
No, it makes sense.
I mean, thematically, it makes sense.
Kylo Ren was dead.
Kylo Ren is dead.
That is who Rey killed, not Ben.
And Ben Swolo is back in Force and everything.
Hey, did you peep the slight shift in how even he carried himself?
No, I can't say I did.
Adam Driver is a great physical actor.
Yeah, he is. You should watch Marriage Story, by the way, on Netflix. You should also watch the Merowitz Story. You should also watch When They Were Young. You should also watch
Rise of Skywalker, the movie we're talking about. So, Adam Driver, great. Adam Driver, great physical acting. Because he kind of carried himself like that. That hulking aggression is like Kylo Ren. Soon as he chucked, he stood up and chucked that lightsaber, it was just like
stood
straight up, shoulders back, just like, oh man, I got a lot of stuff to rectify.
You gotta stand up. Your back straight, shoulders strong, like a lobster. Clean your room.
What?
It's just Jordan Peterson. I don't do impressions.
Also, pet your cat. Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. Rey dips off and tries to go to the
She ends up getting to
it's not Exegol. Is it Exegol?
Is it?
The Sith planet with the lightning.
Oh wait, we forgot about the whole part right after the planet where Poe's from, and then that's when she found out she's Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter, because Ren just tells her. Yeah. On the ship and everything.
Oh yeah, when they're doing the teleport thingy talk fight.
Yeah. Okay. And then that's when you realize, oh, you're on the ship, and I'm gonna get to you.
That is a dope fight. Yeah. I love everything about them being a dyad in the Force. Yeah. Because you haven't seen anything remotely like that since Bastila and the protagonist from Knights of the Old Republic 1.
I never played these games. BioWare to me begins at Mass Effect 1 and ends at Mass Effect 3.
If you've never played Knights of the Republic, if it wasn't for Knights of the Republic, you wouldn't have Mass Effect.
I know. And that's why I watched the Let's Play of it. But, in Andromeda.
Hey, we're going to do a stream soon. Guess what we're playing?
Mass Effect Andromeda. No?
I'll kill you first. No. No. Only slight aside because it is sort of related. Only because in this movie, they confirmed that Revan is canon. And Revan is a central figure from Knights of the Republic 1, and he's kind of like the driving force that led into Knights of the Old Republic 2. He's the central figure behind the Jedi Civil War. And even the fact that it's called the Jedi Civil War.
Because he was a Jedi at one point?
He was a Jedi who fell to the Sith. Okay. But it also explores the nature of what is Jedi to the galaxy at large. To the Jedi involved, it was two generals for the Republic went rogue, turned the army against the Republic, and attacked, tried to conquer them, trying to create a new Sith Empire. To the rest of the world, it's just a bunch of fucking dudes with lightsabers in the galaxy trying to kill each other. Huh. Who cares? Sith, Jedi, y'all got lightsabers and weird sorcerer shit. I don't care. Y'all fuckers are doing stuff.
Jedi mind tricks.
Right?
Oh yeah, Ray pulled out Jedi mind tricks on the ship too. You're glad to see us. We're glad to see you. You don't mind that we're on the ship. You don't mind you're on the ship. Poe and Finn are like, did she do that to us at some point?
That was a good scene. Poe and Finn have a lot of good scenes, but they have no character development.
Yeah, great chemistry from the beginning when they first met each other. But no, I think Poe's character arc kind of completed itself with being a hotshot in Force Awakens, still being a hotshot in Last Jedi, but realizing that you gotta have to hold back sometimes, and then him finally becoming general and holding back at certain times.
What did he do as a general?
He led them to their almost doom if it wasn't for Lando or everybody coming in at the last save.
So what was the lesson learned in The Last Jedi?
That you should not try to leave everybody to their doom.
No. You shouldn't always try to hop in your ship and try to blow shit up. Yeah. How does he end this movie as the general?
Hop in his ship and try to blow shit up?
Yep. So what did he really learn?
Nothing?
At all.
I don't know. That was the end of my defense for Poe. Oh well.
I like Poe as a concept, but The Rise of Skywalker did him no favors. A lot of the themes and symbolisms and callbacks, great. It's just the overarching flow of the characters and the story is just whack. A lot of people say it feels like it's two movies smashed into one. Honestly, it feels like
3.
About 3. The first 20 minutes could be a whole movie. Honestly.
Yeah.
The first 20. Rey training, Kylo going around trying to find his damn keystone, going to Mustafar. You know what? Know the area where the Revenge of the Sith ended? Kills a whole village, gets the thing, and flies through him, going through the storm, him finally getting to the Dark Planet, him probably having some kind of trial, them setting up Palpatine. Because honestly, this movie, like the through line I was talking about earlier between all the different trilogies, the one I see for this one where they kind of stuck the landing, and why I feel like this trilogy might, get some pull in later years, is if you look at it as not Rey's story, but Kylo's.
Yeah, I can see that.
If they linked into this is about really Kylo, it's a better story. Honestly, if you look at it from that angle, because he's the one that has the real arc development, actually, make sacrifices and loses things, and has to change and learn from his mistakes.
It's the much more traditional route, and it's the one that isn't disturbed by Rian Johnson's thing of like forgetting the past. Like that's what Kylo says, but it goes hand in hand and stuff like that.
Like I would love someone smarter than me to do a breakdown on how, because you know how in Avengers Infinity War, Thanos is the protagonist. Yeah. That movie opens with him, ends with him, and it's just him, on his quest to do the thing. And most people don't notice that because we're used to seeing our heroes as the protagonists. Yeah. No, they're the obstacles for his quest. And if you look at these movies through the same lens, though less skilled, it's Kylo's story. Yeah. Rey is his obstacle. And when you think about it, in the movie, you don't really care how the big bad got where they at. Yeah. On this side, the big bad is just to have one that happen to have a blue lightsaber. Air quotes on big bad, because bad is subjective.
I agree with all of this, bar none. But I agree with all this.
And that's why I can say, this leads us into towards the end, where it's like they end up on the Sith planet. Mm-hmm. They create their little plane. Hey, this is the one thing we can blow up to shut down the whole army, because that's just how all these movies work now. There's one thing: blow up the big central ship in the sky. Phantom Menace shuts down the droid army.
Trying to think what happened in the original trilogy. What did they have?
Exhaust port twice.
Okay, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back is the only one where there isn't one, because that's just an actual story. Yeah. With Return of the Jedi, Phantom Menace, that Force Awakens blow up the big thing, it blows up. Phantom Menace blow up the space station. Attack of the Clones, that was just everywhere. There was no big blow up thing. Return of the Jedi was when the good guys failed. Take out Palpatine and take out who the fuck was the other person they went to go fight? Anakin. And they only got half. But yeah. So it's another one of those, take out the one thing and we can win. And it's like, we're gonna get more help, and it's just like, where was this help in The Last Jedi?
Yeah, I felt that was such a betrayal. Like they don't really go into the whole sacrifice that Luke did at the end of The Last Jedi. It's just kind of low key forgotten about, and I'm like, that's kind of a big deal and make you guys get away, and nobody can.
And honestly, the whole point of it was Luke's legacy is more powerful than Luke. Yeah. The story of Luke walking out and facing a bunch of AT-ATs and humiliating the supreme leader of the First Order is going to get out. It's going to draw force wielders and normal people to want to choose the resistance, because Luke Skywalker faced them. Luke Skywalker is, and we got the chick trained by him.
And they had those kids at the end, Broom Boy, taking the whole.
They could have leaped into all of it, because they could have did a quick time skip, and bam, it's been 5 years. The resistance has turned into a new thing. They've been taking planets. Planets have been rebelling against the new First Order, and it's just like, it could have been a new thing. Leia's leading a new galactic federation or some shit. Yep. Because hell in the EU. That's what ended up happening to the Republic. It got taken out after the Yuzon Vong invaded, and they combined into the Galactic Federation. Okay. Or was it the Galactic Alliance? It was Galactic Alliance. And that's how Jason Solo usurped it. Becomes Supreme Leader. The First Order is a mixed bag of what the Galactic Alliance was, because the Galactic Alliance actually joined in, had some of the Imperial Remnant join. Because the Imperial Remnant was its own faction. Because when the Emperor dies, that doesn't mean the entire nation falls apart. It just means a bunch of different people are now vying for the vacuum of power. Vying against each other in the vacuum of power left.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. But wait, we're getting
off topic again.
We're getting off topic here.
What was I going? I was going with
basically Rey is now at Palpatine.
Yeah, it's at
Palpatine's like, strike me down so I can so you can become the Sith Empress, and she's like, no. And he's like, well, I mean, you could stop this whole assault if you become Empress on me. I'm just saying, you might as well do the thing. I'm sorry. It's getting to that point. I'm so tired.
We're getting to the end. We're almost there.
We're right there. And my body feels it. And I keep looking over to my bed. And I'm like...
It's good. I'm watching the clock too. Like, damn, I gotta make another move before I make another move. All right. So, we're getting there.
I still had chicken left.
Go on. You got a whole lot of chicken left over there. Boy, what's wrong with you?
Go on, dude. I'm gonna be eating.
That's fine.
Mukbang.
So Palpatine says what he says. So Ben Solo's running there now to try to help out Rey. Not. He's just getting crumbs on the computer. You're terrible.
Ignore what I'm doing. Go.
This is not ASMR. What are you doing?
You don't know what this channel is yet.
You can make a lot of money just eating chicken into the mic.
Go on.
Harold's Chicken sponsors, please. So, Ben Solo's on his way there, runs into the Knights of Ren. Now, the Knights of Ren have been playing boogeyman this whole movie. You know, when they're on a desert planet where they show up with the festival and Rey blows up, fake out blows up Chewie, they're kind of standing on the hill looking around. Yeah. When they're on Poe's planet with his friend, you know, they're kind of peeking around corner doing Scooby-Doos, as Willie would say. And then, so they show up and it's like, Knights of Ren have been getting hyped up since Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. They deliberately came out and put out a bunch of pre-production photos. Like, yo, we got the guys who was part of the raid. All the stunt actors from the raid playing the Knights of Ren. This super awesome, badass force. And they're just jobbers. No, they show up. No, Ren ain't got a lightsaber. You know, he force slams one of them. I thought we were going to see like a dope-ass like force fight. Yeah. I'm going to take your thing, spin it around my head, you know, punch you, force punch, chain lightning. Like, he was going to go full stops. We didn't get that.
No, not exactly. No.
But what we did get was one of the best scenes in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Was him reaching behind his back and Rey giving him the lightsaber. And then he pulls it out. They look for a second and he just goes, yeah. And he proceeds to just start kicking ass with it. It is such just... That is great physical acting, and that's such a great scene because it just gets you hype. Even though you know he's about to beat them like a bunch of jobbers.
Yeah.
Which he does.
Yeah.
But you just get that nice little moment of, look what I can do. And then when it was like, for my next trick, I'm going to whoop your ass. Which, you know, dope. But I feel like it's got a caveat of being it was a missed opportunity because how dope would have been to watch him fight with just the Force. Force pulling, pushing, chain lightning.
And this is a man who stopped the whole
blast.
Stopped the whole blast with his hand. I feel like he can use the Force in some very brutal ways to just go like,
right? Nah. Force deflect a weapon to stab somebody else. If they did that one thing. Yeah. Think about that. Lightning, slam into the throw up in the sky, trip somebody. You know.
I feel like for that lightning thing that Rey did when she almost killed Chewie, I feel like that for that one guy who came in not knowing anything about Star Wars, he's like, "Whoa, she can do lightning. What does that mean?"
That one dude high on a Friday night.
Whoa,
yo, they can shoot lightning out their fingers, dog.
Oh, does that mean? Oh my God, who is she related to? Whoa, but.
Then we get to Ben Solo finally whooping their butts. He got there way too fast. That fight was too quick.
Yeah.
Gets there. And then now it's like, all right, well, you're not going to join me. Palpatine option selection just goes, well, here's my backup plan. Heals himself.
Throws Ben Solo off of the cliff like Vader did him all those years ago. And then finally, Rey feels the Force. She has her Avatar state moment.
Here's all the Jedi. They pulled everybody in. Anakin, Qui-Gon Jinn, Ahsoka Tano, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mace Windu.
Did you hear when Mace Windu was like, kill that motherfucker?
Oh, you heard that too, right?
Yeah, I heard that. That was dope.
That was awesome.
Everybody having these uplifting things like the Force is always with you. The Force will kill that motherfucker. The Force is always with you.
Misa in danger. Annie.
Misa, no, you're gonna do good, Ray. You do good, Jedi.
So, God damn it. But yeah.
And then she gets back up and she rises.
Uses the Avatar save. Yeah.
Uses the Avatar save, beats Emperor Palpatine, and
not with one lightsaber.
two lightsabers.
Two lightsabers. Because one can only deflect. You know, we saw Yoda do it like with his hands and like get rid of it, whatever. Two lightsabers. Palpatine continues to shoot the fucking lightning because unlimited power.
I thought he would have learned this with Mace Windu. Like
unlimited power doesn't give
ago.
you unlimited common sense.
Yeah.
Turn on the news, guys.
Oh god.
But
and then fries himself, and then Rey dies, and
the worst part of the movie.
And then Ben comes out of nowhere. Gets up. Hugs her, and it's very emotional. Brings her back to life. They finally kiss, and I'm like, yes.
You say finally, like honestly, they romance shit. I don't like it. Should have been a head touch.
No,
it should have been a hug and then
no. It shouldn't. No, none of this. I like the kiss.
No,
it works for me. They've been building up to it, man.
Remember, he blew up 4 planets.
I mean,
he's a mass murderer.
Listen, if his mom is gonna
forgive him,
if his mom's gonna forgive him, I feel like
we all know that one dude in jail. Mama still talking about free my baby, and he done molested half the block. Like, no, your mama different.
I don't know why I'm thinking about fuck a beat. I was trying to beat a case, but I didn't beat that case, bitch. I did the race. Oh, I like little tape.
He blew up 4 planets. Don't try to distract me with your bad bars. That was awful.
Oh wait,
he's a mass murderer.
General Hux was the spy.
Yeah, Hux was. That's how important that was.
I'm sad that Hux died. I like him. I like his sideburns.
I liked his reasoning because it was so in character. Because it was like, I'm the spy, and immediately I went bullshit. He was just like, not because I want to help you. I just don't want Kylo to win. And it's like, yes. That
makes sense to me. Yeah.
I can live with spite.
That guy's been punking you for 2 whole movies. You're like, nah, fuck this kid.
No, a movie and a half. Because it was right after Snoke died. Because remember, when Snoke died, he walked in, he was raising the blaster. He should have just took the shot.
Oh, I'll do it later. But, sorry, I just had forgot about that part. Yeah, it's,
it was up until Snoke, yeah.
But, beats Palpatine, and she dies. Ben Solo comes in, does a life force exchange thing, becomes part of the Force, I guess, because he disappeared.
He became one with the Force.
Apparently
Force. He learned the lesson Qui-Gon learned.
Man, I'm tired of these people like Anakin. They shouldn't be allowed in there just because they did one good thing right at the end.
Have you not been to church?
Man, it's like Hitler while in the bunker just let like a little rat eat some cheese. Like, there you go, buddy. And then,
I mean, that's more than what you have to do for Christianity. Lord, forgive me for my sins. I'm sorry.
Boom. Hey, instant happened. Buddy Jesus all day, bro.
I gotta rewatch Dogma.
Dogma is so good.
That opening monologue where he makes the nun quit is so amazing.
That is on our itinerary, actually. Beyond like Whiplash and La La Land.
Oh yeah,
right?
I would love to see Dogma. But it's one of those movies though you can't watch with everybody because I want to show it to people. But after I rewatched it like 3 times and I like rediscovered it like about 6 months ago, I just kind of realized this is a very specific movie. A lot of like just sitting in rooms talking.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that. And that's cool. But yeah,
it's Kevin Smith at his earliest.
Yeah, I need to watch Mallrats. I need to watch most of Kevin Smith's movies.
Mallrats is okay.
I've never seen Clerks 1. I've seen Clerks 2. Right?
How?
Right? Never
What do you
seen Clerks
mean?
1. I've seen Blunt Man and Chronic.
Silent Bob and Jay Strike Back. I used to love that movie. I still love that movie. I still just randomly say boo boo kitty fuck to people. I just go like tell them smoochy boochies. They'll know what I'm talking about. They never know what I'm talking about. I just like to say they'll know what I'm talking about. But wow, I know we've reached the end now.
We've reached the end because
we're not talking about.
So Rise of Skywalker.
Closing statements.
It's fine.
Yeah, I think that sums up ultimately all the problems, all the successes, everything that leads up to Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker is that it ends up just being a fine movie. Rey burying those two sabers on Tatooine for somebody else to find eventually, and then saying, "My name is."
That Anakin hated and Luke wanted it long to get away from.
Yeah, that was stupid. You should have put it on Jakku if you wanted,
or Naboo,
or just anywhere. Put it on Hoth for God's sakes.
No, Naboo would have been the thing. A statue of Leia, bury him right there.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Naboo probably would have been the better choice.
Yeah,
but a woman comes by and she's like, "My name is Rey Skywalker," and it's just, I rolled my eyes so goddamn hard.
I was like, that's. Rey Skywalker works because I can understand and respect. Like I talk about the through line of like who you are in comparison to who people think you are and all that goodness. Because who people think you are is different in everyone's head, and that's a thing I have problems processing because to some people I'm one thing and to others I'm not. And if those two people meet, they probably be confused at the views they have on who I am. Mm-hmm. And that's something I struggle with. Imposter syndrome. It's a thing. With Rey, you get to choose who you wish. Like, she gets to choose who she wants to be because she's truly no one. And that was a thing that resonated with me. But being no one has its problems because then you're anyone to everyone. So her being able to choose, I can pick who my family are because my family isn't what I came from. It's what I choose to be and the people who have the most influence on who I am. Yeah. That's your family. Not blood don't mean crap. Yeah, it's the blood, it's the bonds you choose to form, and I can respect it. So being a Skywalker because you are what the Skywalkers truly embody without having to fall. You're what Luke and Leia always wanted: someone who did not fall, who chose the light and went and pursued it despite all adversity. Mm-hmm. So her choosing to be a Skywalker, did I need Luke and Leia looking off proudly in the distance and nodding? No. Did I need her to bury their lightsabers? No. Did I need to see her yellow saber, which is cool, but I didn't get to see it in the movie? No. A lot of this movie is teasing stuff and fan servicey without actually making it mean anything. Why didn't we get to see her construct her lightsaber? Yeah. Yeah, why didn't we see that thing with Lando and that other girl? And she was like, "Oh, I don't know where I'm from." And he's like, "Well, let's find out." And she does it like, I'm like, give me the spin-off shit. What? Do we need that scene, or could we have a scene where like Rey builds a lightsaber, or like Rey talks to Finn about what the hell he was talking about? I think it's because he was about to say I'm force sensitive because he felt when Rey died. Why couldn't we have that conversation? That would have been. I mean, maybe that was also them going like, "Hey, subtlety, guys." Ooh. Why do we need that scene? Like, there's so many scenes which is like, why? Why couldn't we have more scenes on Poe's planet with them, like, looking around trying to find Buddy and like interacting and dealing with the Sith occupied planet? Yeah. Like, why didn't we get to see that? Then, hell, we could have, that scene where old girl was in, we could have had Finn be the one to talk her into getting her whole battalion to throw down their arms. Like, let's not try to rewrite the movie, but a lot of stuff where it's like, it was a lot of tell, don't show. And it's like, this is a movie. Show me. And I get it, you're making up for lost time, but this is Star Wars. Y'all got all the money in the freaking world. Like, come on now. And just like the Rise of Skywalker, just like this modern trilogy, this video ends with a fizzle. Rise of Skywalker, it's just okay. It's
It's just okay.
And for something as grandiose as a Star War, okay, don't cut it. And that's where the rage comes from for some people.
Yeah. It's just okay. It tries its best with the materials that it was given.
Yeah. So, what's the next thing we're watching?
Bright. That's what we said we were gonna do.
And then Star Wars.
And then Star Wars. What? No, stop. We're not doing Star Wars.
We're doing Star Wars, Clone Wars next. And as sad as he looked, that's the way to end it. All right.
Fuck that. Jesus Christ. I hate Star Wars.